Robert, this is an opportunity for you to just talk. Zuzu's parents are right here. They just want to know if you have anything to do with it. Andrew Franks at CBS 7 News. We just want to get your side of the story. Right now, I'm actually standing in 10-year-old Carter Tucker's bedroom. He says he was right here on his bed doing his homework when he heard the front door open, knowing that it couldn't have been his mother or his sister because they had just left 15 minutes before. He ran straight into his closet here to hide. Anytime you set up your space heater, you want to make sure it's on a flat surface and in an open space. But most importantly, you want to make sure it's at least 36 inches away from any objects and the wall. Well, Jay, I spoke with friends of hers and they tell me she's expected to make a full recovery and is lucky to be alive. They say a total of 4 shots were fired at her and only 1 hit her in her lower back. And what would a story about a test track be without me seeing firsthand just how well these tires work? Well, Jim, what do you say? Let's step on it.
Let's go.
Tatum's still a very active scene out here in the 500 block of East 56th Street. Police tell us that the man is believed to have a shotgun on him and threatened to kill police. Joining me now is Steve LeSueur. And why, you ask? Because Honeyfield is tired of seeing fields like this covered in trash. It's an avoidable offense, which is why he's asking police to show no mercy. Jay and Tatum, the message is simple. They're wanting Robert to either clear his name or take the blame. Today, they stood on this corner to let Robert know they will not accept his silence. Now, although the Manguano brothers still stick to traditional forms of farming, they have also embraced new methods involving technology. Although these guys say they were just clowning around, Captain Lascano says they could have easily been shot at or attacked by scared residents, because at night it's hard to tell that these weapons are just plastic. That's right, Jay. By 2 o'clock this afternoon, the grand jury had finished questioning Robert, Chris, and a third witness. In fact, Robert was inside this courtroom right here no longer than 5 to 10 minutes before he and his attorney left, leaving Zuzu's parents and the rest of us with so many unanswered questions. Do you know where Zuzu is? Robert, we just want to give an opportunity for you to share your side of the story. Do you have anything to say?
You have no comment?
With his head held up high and his eyes focused on the back door, Robert Fabian chose to remain silent when we asked for his side of the story. Robert, this is an opportunity for you to just talk. Zuzu's parents are right here. They just want to know if you have anything to do with it. To say tensions were high in the hallway outside of where the grand jury was meeting would be an understatement. Zuzu's parents saw Robert in person for the first time since their daughter went missing.
He didn't seem comfortable and upbeat and relaxed. He seemed the opposite of all those things.
And he would never even look in our direction. Not once. Not once. No matter how much I tried to get him just to make eye contact. That's all. I just wanted eye contact with him. And he was avoiding it.
Robert and his attorney may have chosen not to speak with us.
I have no comment.
But his friend Chris Estrada was more than willing to clear his name.
They believe I helped I guess a cover-up.
And did you?
No. Just hung out and had some drinks. To me, it was a normal day, and I guess now it never will be.
Chris was the first person Robert reached out to the morning Zuzu went missing. He claims that both he and Robert are innocent and have nothing to do with her disappearance. Do you think they're trying to get you indicted?
I do think so.
And how do you feel about that?
I think it's, them doing their job, and I'll stand my ground and we'll face it together.
With Zuzu nowhere to be found, her parents remain hopeful that one day soon they'll be able to wrap their arms around their youngest child again.
It's not over.
No. Just keep up the support, keep up the prayers, compel the Fabian family to help in any way they can.
All the jurors were paid out today, meaning there will not be another session tomorrow. Now, as far as the grand jury reconvening sometime in the future, that remains unknown. And we also tried speaking with the police chief for the Alpine Police Department, but he said he cannot comment at this time. In Alpine, DeAnn Lopez, CBS 7 News.
It's just an inexcusable offense.
One flick of the wrist, and you could be saying goodbye to $500. City Manager Eric Honeyfield is taking the Don't Mess with Texas campaign to a whole new level.
And if I'm seeing it, I'm seeing probably 1% of the problem. So I'm hoping that this will get some folks' attention and change behavior.
Honeyfield is proposing that City Council adopt a new ordinance that would give anyone who litters, including first-time offenders, a $500 fine. And why, you ask? Because Honeyfield is tired of seeing fields like this covered in trash. It's an avoidable offense, which is why he's asking police to show no mercy.
I want it to feel funny to roll the window down and throw your entire fast food meal out the window. It just should feel wrong.
It's an idea that many in the community are all for.
And yeah, we need to find people. This place is looking pretty bad. I travel up to Orla on 285 every day, and it looks like a dump.
I think it is. I think it'll clean up our town a lot, and it'll make people think twice about doing it.
For those who may not be able to afford the ticket, don't worry, Honeyfield has a backup plan. 250 hours of community service, which you can bet includes picking up trash.
In our scheme of problems, to me, this is an easy one to fix.
The first reading for the ordinance will take place during tomorrow night's City Council meeting at 5:30. Honeyfield says if the ordinance ends up passing, it will go into effect immediately. In Pecos, DeAnn Lopez, CBS 7 News. Who knew that West Texas's diverse weather and flat landscape would attract a multi-million-dollar corporation to run their business? The company is Bridgestone, formerly known as Firestone, and they say our area is perfect for testing their tires.
We designed that surface to push the tire to the limits at every corner.
And they've been pushing those limits ever since 1955. 6,000 acres and 8 different tracks make up the Bridgestone Proving Ground.
Some of them look like normal everyday tracks that you see in cities, in the Midwest with broken asphalt and potholes and concrete highway joints for ride comfort testing and noise measurements, interior noise measurements.
Others are designed to look like a racetrack. Take, for example, this wet handling track. And what would a story about a test track be without me seeing firsthand just how well these tires work? Well, Jim, what do you say? Let's step on it.
Let's go.
Between the swift turns and high speeds, let's just say these men have one thrilling and important job.
We need for our drivers to fully understand the handling of the car, so it becomes intuitive for them and they can concentrate on how the tires are performing.
One of the tracks even holds a world record.
Back in 1987, A.J. Foyt actually set a world speed record here. So the record is the highest average speed around a closed circuit for a complete lap, and that was 257 miles per hour in an Oldsmobile Aerotech.
But what makes this testing ground stand out even more so is that they make it a priority to take part in community events, not to mention the majority of their staffers are locals. 60 years and counting, those here at Bridgestone's tire testing facility say Fort Stockton will always be their home. Reporting in Fort Stockton, DeAnn Lopez, CBS 7 News. After almost 4 months of pure pain, sorrow, and anger, the Verk family feels like they can now finally breathe. Zuzu's mom knows in her heart that the human remains found by a Border Patrol agent yesterday are her daughters.
It's my baby girl. This is what they've done.
She's referring to Robert Fabian, Zuzu's ex-boyfriend. His arrest this morning for tampering with evidence by concealing a human corpse came as a relief to the Verks, but as a shock to Robert's family.
I stick to what I've said. My brother is innocent. The only question that keeps going through my mind is, if a body hasn't been identified, why was he arrested? Because the body has not been identified. We don't know who that body belongs to.
Back in October, a search warrant revealed Robert visited his sister's house the night Zuzu went missing. The documents also revealed Jocelyn allowed him to borrow her husband's car. Since that time, she and her mother have been listed as persons of interest.
Oh, yeah. We're innocent. We had nothing to do with anything.
Today, Jocelyn and her family were yet again caught off guard when police served them a warrant to search their property. Now she wants to make it clear that they have nothing to hide.
They had a search warrant to come and pick up shovels, racks, hand tools, hoes, pickaxes, pitchforks, spades, and any other tool or implement discovered that is designed and that may be reasonably be used to dig or remove soil and or natural ground. That's what they were here, to seize soil from the property to be used for forensic comparison.
Robert's family say he loves Zuzu and is still holding on to hope that the truth will reveal itself.
And that's the scary part. Everybody's focusing on my brother when somebody's out there probably sitting around saying, I got away with this.
But Jocelyn's words mean nothing to Lori and her family.
Justice. Absolute justice. I want to find out exactly what, when, why, how, and who.
Jay and Tatum, after two brothers had their pay and hours cut last February, making ends meet has been tough. So about 2 to 3 weeks ago, they had the clever idea to start delivering pizzas in style.
Ninja Turtle!
Have you ever had a Ninja Turtle deliver pizza to you?
Yes! No, you never have.
Is this the first time? It's every boy's dream come true to have a hero in a half shell pay you a visit, let alone deliver dinner to your front doorsteps.
I'm smiling, but you can't see it. You know, I got the mask on, but it's priceless seeing them kids.
Eloy Payet, his brother, and their wives dress up like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles every Thursday and Friday to deliver pizzas, all to keep the bills paid. Last February, Payet and his brother, both mechanics, had their pay cut by 10% and their hours reduced drastically.
I mean, at first, it wasn't too hard, but then over a while, it started hurting, you know. All that money we had saved up, it's pretty much gone.
The orders are made through their Facebook page, and let's just say business is booming for the family.
We were like, oh my gosh, we have to do this. It was like we didn't even think twice about it.
Oh, I was excited for the kids.
Payet and his family never thought they would be delivering pizzas as Raphael or Michelangelo, but love every second of it.
Say bye, Gina.
Now, Jay and Tatum, you have to give me a little credit for not telling that entire story without saying cowabunga. Now, to place your orders, just visit our website at CBS7.com. In the studio, DeAnn Lopez, CBS 7 News. This is the last picture that Ann Clark has of her daughter, Tiffany Marion. But through the power of Facebook, they've been reunited 3 decades later. January 1987. It's the last time Ann Clark saw her 1-year-old baby girl, Tiffany Marion. For years, Ann stared at this family portrait showing the back of Tiffany's head. It was the only picture she had of her daughter until now.
Wow. I just thank God. Oh my God. I have prayed a long time. I didn't know whether she was dead or alive.
With butterflies in her stomach and her heartbeat racing, Ann can't help but feel nervous and excited to finally wrap her arms around her daughter again.
We look exactly alike. You see, we look just alike. Wow. Wow, I'm excited, Lord. I'm excited.
10 minutes behind schedule, Tiffany's bus pulls in. The moment Ann has been anticipating for 30 years is finally here.
Oh my God. Honey, yes, Grandma! Yes, Grandma! Grandma!
Don't cry.
This is Mama.
Years of pain turns into joy in one single embrace.
I'm so happy. I thank God I got my baby back. That's my baby. Yeah, that's my baby.
Let's go back 30 years to the day Tiffany was taken from her mother, brothers, and sisters. It was a cool January morning in Midland. Ann was at home with her 5 toddlers, including 1-year-old Tiffany. Recently separated from her husband, Alvin Clark, and 5 months pregnant with his baby, she says she was exhausted and asked him to help by watching Tiffany, who wasn't even walking yet.
When he came and got her, I said, well, just watch her for, a little while. And then I'll get a little rest and I'll be back. I'll call you when I'm ready for you to bring her back.
That little while turned into 3 decades.
Basically, he was just done with the relationship, and his whole plan was to take us away. He didn't like, I guess he was saying he didn't like the situation that we were in and that he was put in. Like, I guess them two was bumping heads heavy.
Ann says she tried to file a kidnapping report with a Midland police officer, but...
He asked me, was we married? And I told him yes, and he said that, it was, he had a right if it was his child, and so that's how it went down.
We tried to verify the report with Midland police, but they were unable to confirm or deny Ann's claim. Either way, the situation left Tiffany to grow up in Camden, New Jersey, without her mother.
I always wanted to look for her, but I just didn't know how.
Over the years, Tiffany's sisters, who were still living in Midland, also tried to find her. And then last May, a connection was made on Facebook. Now the next hurdle, figuring out how to bring her back home. Tiffany is a single mother of 4, and neither family had the money to purchase plane tickets. However, between garage sales and help from friends, and even Tiffany's father,
I forgave her dad, and she knows that.
Their one wish in life came true.
I feel more relieved now. I feel like it's complete.
Tiffany and her children moved down here with only the clothes on their backs to start a new and healthy life with her mom. From clothes to beds, the family says they could really use all the help they can get. If you'd like to lend them a helping hand, just visit our website at cbs7.com. In the studio, DeAnn Lopez, CBS 7 News.